Hey there guys, welcome to Stanley Chess. Glad to have you, hope you're doing well today. I'd like to start off by saying that I do like to upload every few days, and I know it's been 8 days since the last one. I'm in the process of moving, and I just went camping over the weekend, so I haven't had too much time on my hands, but we're back to it. So let's hop into this 10-minute rapid game that I played a while back. There's lots of cool tactics in there towards the end, so make sure you stick around. Let's hop into it. All right. So I'm playing with the white pieces here. We have e4 and d5. My opponent playing a Scandinavian defense here. So I go ahead and take, bring out the knight to c3, attacking the queen, and basically just saying, hey, you're kind of dumb for playing this opening, bringing your queen out here, because now you just go all the way back. Not even playing queen a5, just going all the way back to d8, wasting time. Now I get a full pawn in the center and the knight, and my opponent has done nothing except throw this d7 pawn out the window. So I have a pleasant advantage right from the opening here. Knights develop out to f6 and f3. We have g6, bishop c4 lining up on the f7 pawn here. And bishop g7, this is all normal stuff. I go ahead and play bishop e3, securing my d4 pawn here. We both castle. And then a6 is a bit of a slow move, you know, it doesn't develop anything. It doesn't try and like prepare a strike in the center or bring the bishop out. It's just a6, trying to play b5, get the bishop to b7. It's a little slow, but nothing terribly wrong with it. So I go ahead and play queen d2. This lines up this little battery here with the queen and the bishop, looking to get over here to h6, trade off this dark squared bishop, and try and get in on the dark squares over here. So we have b5. That was the whole idea of a6, right? It's fine. Just drop my bishop back to d3. And bishop b7 finally develops the bishop. Kind of threatening a little something if I don't do anything about it. You know, bishop takes f3, and I have to recapture with the g-pawn. And this isn't very pleasant because it just opens up my king for no good reason. So because of that, I move my queen over to e2, looking to add some defense to my knight. And after knight b to d7, this is a bit strange for my opponent. I mean, it's fine, right? But he goes here, here, here. Takes 3 moves with the knight to get it where he wants it to go. And by the time he does, I've just brought my rooks to the center, improving my position, and I just take that knight off the board. So he spent 3 moves with that knight to just trade it for my knight, which moved once. And in that time, I've improved my position quite a bit, bringing the rooks to the center. I got my bishops doing very well. I got the only pawn in the center here. Now, I do make an inaccuracy here with c4. I should have played like bishop e4, pinning the knight to the bishop over on b7, or something like bishop back to d2 or g5, basically saying, I don't want you to take my dark squared bishop, but I allow him to take my dark squared bishop, which is quite sad. Now here I also, another inaccuracy, should have played f takes e3 to keep this all secure so that after this trade happens, I have some nice pawns in the center. They're defending each other. They're friends, right? And the rooks are behind them, and it just looks really nice. But unfortunately, I took with the queen, which would allow after this, well, actually, before that, bishop takes f3. Bishop takes f3. And then if I take with the queen, then I just lose d4. And I'd just be down a pawn. Now, yes, you can do this, but then the rook gets in here, so it's still not great, and b2 is also falling there. So it's just, you're losing the pawn in the center, because your queen is drawn away from the defense of it. And if you didn't want to lose the pawn, then if bishop takes f3, you'd have to take like this, and again, that's not what I want, right? Yeah, so that would be unfortunate, but my opponent doesn't see it, so doesn't really matter. He takes on c4, I take back with the bishop, and now my rook just defends the pawn here with my queen. Life is good. And we have e6, just kind of blunting my bishop, but also weakening the dark squares a little bit here, because this dark square bishop is solely responsible for these dark squares, and after e6 and h5, these dark squares are looking mighty weak. It looks like Swiss cheese over there. We have b3. This just looked to get the b pawn out of sight of this bishop in case the pawn and the knight move out of the way. And also it just secures my bishop even further, and it's kind of a waiting move. See what my opponent wants to do. My opponent wants to play king h7. I don't know, getting out of sight from this bishop. I am lining up some tactics here with like knight g6, bishop e6, you know, because of all these pawn pushes, kingside is quite weak here. So we have king h7, And I play queen d3. I do this because, well, your king just walked into a very vulnerable spot. So I'm going to try and take advantage of that and maybe line up some sacrifices here. Like bishop takes e6 and queen takes g6 could be on the board. If like nothing happens, right, a nothing move, then bishop takes a6 is obviously a queen or a clean winning of a pawn. But, I mean, this doesn't work here. But, I mean, this could be a thing, right? Especially if my opponent didn't play accurately. That looks quite good. So that's what I'm trying to set up here. So we have queen d3, bishop takes e5, which is just bad. That's just terrible move. Like I said, you have all your pawns on light squares over here, and the dark squared bishop is like the only defender of your king at the moment, and you just traded away for the knight. And now my rook gets into e5, and I got news for you. I got these rooks coming in. I got the queen already staring at the king, and I got the bishop in as well. I got my g-pawn launching forward if I wanted to. King's not looking too happy over there. So queen to f6, which just purely blunders this tactic. Remember at the beginning of the video, I said there were some cool tactics? Well, let them commence! We have rook takes h5! Rook takes h5! You can't take back, you're pinned, so that's quite sad. That was kind of the whole idea of queen d3, and my opponent should have played something like queen h4, but then just rook c5, and I start targeting over here. I say, oh, you think I'm attacking your king? Psych! Let's go for the weaknesses on the queen side instead. But my opponent just plays queen f6, so I just take the pawn on h5 with check. King moves to g7, and then just rook back to h3. Because now he is threatening to take, because I'm no longer pinning him. So I drop back to h3, and then, oh no, he's threatening mate. He's threatening checkmate, guys. He's threatening checkmate. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I don't really care. I just block the checkmating threat, right? Because it's just, I just go here, and now I'm staring at the king again. And you have to move the queen, and now it's GG. You see the eval bar? You see that plus 2.25 advantage for white? You know why? You know why? Bishop takes e6. Now you should here just play like queen f6, try and hold everything together and just say, yeah, you got me on that one. But instead, black takes the bishop. And now it's just made in two. Queen g6, queen g7. I was very proud of that. That was a good game on my end. At least I like to think so. I think I played pretty well. I mean, I improved my position very well. I brought out the rooks. I kept my center intact, except for like, you know, I did blunder a pawn at one point, but he didn't see it, so we don't have to talk about it. And I took advantage of the weakness of the king here, playing queen d3, and then just getting this pawn with check here, this beautiful tactic, and then just stopping the mate nice and easy. And then bishop takes e6, sacrificing the bishop for mate. That was a great game. Before you head out, I would like to say thank you for watching the entirety of this video. It really means a lot, and it would also mean a lot to me if you hit that like button and subscribe as well. It really helps out my small channel. I'm trying to grow it here, so any bit of support like that helps. Share it with your friends, leave a comment below, let me know your thoughts, and have a great day.